And at 7:16, we're going to head downstairs and check in with Lynn and get our cars ready for the summer.
All right, thanks, Anita. The mercury is certainly on the rise, making your car's air conditioner all the more important. And our own auto guy, Brian Bowersock, is here to make sure you're not sweating while you're racking up those miles. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
So in California, we do use our air conditioners a lot more perhaps than other places because we have such a short winter. So what do people need to be thinking about?
Basically, your AC system should be checked once a year. Air conditioning systems, although they are sealed, the molecules of Freon are so small they do leak a little bit over time. So what happens is your system starts to not operate. It doesn't cool as well, gets a little low on Freon, and you start to notice the temperature in your car on really hot days is elevated compared to what it used to be.
So how often should we have it checked to make sure it's going to be in good running shape?
Usually we recommend once a year.
Okay.
We do a performance check on it. There's a couple other things that go along with that. We actually use gauges and we check all the pressures inside of the AC system to make sure, and from that we can tell the Freon level. It's not like checking your oil where you use a dipstick. The pressures on the high and low side will tell us if the system's full of the correct amount of Freon. So we use those to do that. And then a couple other things that should be done with your AC system are, we recommend evaporative core cleaning.
Okay.
Which actually,
what is that?
The evaporative core is actually inside your dash, in your duct system. And that's actually the core that the air is blown across that cools the air. And moisture comes off of it, and it drips out the bottom onto the ground outside your car. Matter of fact, you've probably often seen on a hot day, you park your car and you look under it, and there's this big puddle of water.
Yeah, you always think something's wrong with your car.
Correct, yeah. That's actually from the AC system, and that is normal. But what happens is the core itself, from the moisture, collects pollen from the outside air, and then it also can start to grow mold. By actually cleaning it, what you do is clean the air that's coming into the car. You get all that mold off the evaporative core, and it makes the air fresher. And there's fragrance kind and regular kind and all the great stuff.
Now, should you do this once a year as well, or more often?
Once a year, and it actually helps. We have customers that we do it for that have children that have asthma and things like that, and it's easier. It makes it easier on the kids in the car. It really does. It's actually a great service for you if you have any kind of breathing problems, allergies, etc. Just keeps your air duct system really clean in the car.
Because that's something I have to say I never even thought about, that over time that mold and pollen build up and can also just be blowing right into your car.
Right, it blows right into your face.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worse than an AC system even in your house. You don't usually stand right in front of the duct at your home, but when you're driving down the road, you're right in front of it, and it's blowing right in your face.
And is this something that people can put on themselves, or is it something they should have a technician do?
No, actually, you have to drill a hole, install the applicator in the correct place and all that. The cans actually say on them for professional use only. You wouldn't want to drill a hole in the wrong place. Obviously, you could damage your AC system. It's not a very costly service, but then it's a once-a-year thing. It's very, very minor, but it does help. The other thing with the AC system at the same time with doing this is newer cars now have what we call cabin filters, kind of like your air filter for your engine. But there's actually a pollen filter inside the car that should be changed yearly also.
Okay.
Strongly recommended.
Do you have to ask specifically for this, or is it something they're doing and I'm just not aware when I take my car and it's being automatically done?
No, it's probably not being automatically done. If you go to a quality service facility, usually they're going to recommend it to you once a year. Like I said, if you're a regular customer there, we often track all of our stuff for our customers so we know, hey, you're coming up on your yearly. And this time of year is usually when most people get it done. We've gone through about 3 months that you haven't used the AC system a lot.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into the time when you're going to be using it every day, probably for the next 9 months.
So now's the time to get it done.
Now's the time to get it done, absolutely.
All right, thanks for being here, and always has great information for us to make sure that not only is it running, but running well.
Great to see you.
Thanks, Brian. Well, if you'd like more information, just log on to our website at fox6.com. And Brian would also like to hear from you and know what you want to learn about here. And maybe he'll even answer your questions right here on the air. Well, an undertaker in Europe is giving the phrase "going out in style" all new meaning. We'll show you how you can be a rock star even when you're 6 feet under.